talk about the 3 types of environmental audits that we have here in Kenya. And the first one is an initial environmental audit. Now, this initial environmental audit is the first audit that you ever conduct for your business. If you're an institution, whatever you are, a hospital, an institution, a company, a factory, the very first environmental audit you do is an initial environmental audit. This one must be done by an external auditor. For example, you find projects like a coffee factory might have an internal environmental officer who is licensed to conduct environmental audits, who may do these audits for the factory, But the first one has to be done by an external auditor. You have to procure the services of an external auditor to do the initial environmental audit. So all projects that acquired an environmental impact assessment, all projects that started operations after 2003, that is when NEMA was formed, and the regulation, the EIA regulation started operating, require an initial environmental audit. They should have done an initial environmental audit by now, unless you're still in construction, so that you have not yet started operations. So that is the first one. This one is really here to look at, since you started operating the last 12 months, how is your operations? Whatever was put in the environmental management plan, is it helping? Is it doable? Because most cases you find clients who hired just somebody to do that. So aliweka hapo vitu zingine hata si possible. So audit nafaa kuja verify at the action plan that you have for managing the environment actually is a doable thing. Actually, you have tried them and these are the results. The audit is coming to check that actually you are given conditions by the license, the EIA license, that you are actually implementing them in your operations. This one is really done by a licensed environmental expert who is external. So kama ni kampuni na umeajili msee wako wa environment, kama ni ya kwanza, lazima ikue an external independent consultant. And then moving forward, there is what is called self-audits. Now, hear me out. Self-audits is, let us speak, a coffee factory has somebody who deals with the environment. And this guy is actually licensed by NEMA and has a practicing license. And so he can do audits for this coffee factory. That is what I mean. Or you are a textile industry or a leather processing industry. Na unakuwa na msee wako wa environment. You have a whole department on environment and you do your own environmental audits. This person is capable and licensed to do an environmental audit. Then they can do it for you. You don't have to procure my services as an independent external auditor. They can do it for you when they're inside. But they have to be licensed, okay? They have to be licensed. And once they do it, they take that report to NEMA. So big organizations, KPLC, Kera is abolished now. KPLC, KenGen, county governments, they have environmental officers who are licensed and they do the internal audits from inside. So those are self-audits, but the reports goes to NEMA. The third type of environmental audit is a control audit. This is more of an audit that is coming to see how compliant you are to the environmental standards and regulations. This one is conducted by environmental inspectors from NEMA. So the NEMA officers themselves are the ones who are going to come and audit your business. It is more of a compliance audit. Now here, this one will mainly happen if there has been cases of non-compliance If there has been complaints from the public, you are a hotel and umekuwa tu ukirelease waste yako kwa mto, community imejaribu kukuambia, wamejaribu kwenda kwa chief, you don't, then NEMA might decide to come and actually do an audit for you. I would never want you to get to a position where you are subjected to a control audit, to a place where it is NEMA themselves who come to do the audit themselves. So utakuwa pia umejaribu. Yani, you will have gone to the extremes. You do not want to be red marked for a control audit. So in case you are somewhere, you have not complied for some time, umesikianga fununu huko hivyo, the community is already complaining about this. There's this new regulation that you have had, you don't know what is happening. It is time that you call me, we come and do an audit. If it is an initial audit, you have never done one, we do an initial audit. If you have been doing them, we do the annual audits. You do not want to be red marked for a control audit. I will not want that for you. So those are the 3 audits that we have. An initial audit, all businesses must do this, done by an external audit. Self-audits, these are the annual audits. These you can do for yourself if internally you have somebody who is licensed. And the reports are taken to NEMA also, remember. If you do not have somebody from an internal person to conduct EIAs, I mean the audits, then you hire somebody like me to come and be your inside person to come and do these audits for you. They are annual. And then we have a control audit that is done by NEMA themselves. So these are the 3 types of environmental audits that we have here in Kenya. In case you need an audit, nipigie simu, namba yangu iko hapo juu kwa bios.